Madam Speaker, we have the highest number of long-term unemployed Americans ever on record. So you'd think we'd be overwhelmed by bipartisan cooperation to help us with these 7 million people who've been out of work for more than 6 months. Instead, every single House Republican but one voted against the legislation 3 weeks ago to continue emergency federal unemployment benefits. And now, in the other body, every Republican has refused to support an extension of unemployment benefits, so a growing number of jobless workers are now losing their benefits. By the end of this week, more than 900,000 Americans will lose their unemployment benefits unless the other body acts. We hear the rumblings over there, but I'll believe it when I see it. By the end of the week, the number will grow to 1.2 million. My colleagues from Florida should know an estimated 80,000 Floridians will lose their benefits. California, 180,000. Ohio, 66,000. Georgia, 57,000. And the list goes on and on. The last lifeline for these workers and their families is being severed, leaving them adrift with no job, no savings, and no support. Even some from my own party seem to be saying now is the time to start cutting back on help for unemployment. In fact, it will take about 5 years of consistent month after month job growth to make up for all the ground we have lost in this recession. That's how big the jobs hole that unemployment workers are trying to climb out of. You only have to hear from a few unemployed workers to know how hard they're looking for work and to feel their sheer sense of desperation. They're losing their homes, their health, and their faith in the American dream. Are we really prepared to just stand by and watch them sink into abject poverty? Opponents of helping the unemployment like to talk about budget deficits. Of course, they don't seem to care about deficits when it comes to 2 wars that have cost $1 trillion and 2 tax cuts, mainly for the wealthy, which cost $1.7 trillion. None of that seems to matter. But now the stingy other body says, we might pass this if we can take away $25 a week from all the unemployed. Of course, we couldn't take the money from the hedge fund unfedged people. That would be too tough on them. When it comes to helping the unemployed, they just say we can't afford it. But I wonder if they have truly considered the real cost of abandoning these families. Ending assistance to the unemployed will reduce consumer demand right at the point when the economy is struggling to rebound after the worst recession in 70 years. It would surely increase the number of homes that would not go into foreclosure, and it would drive some individuals permanently out of the labor force if we don't do something. All these outcomes will increase our nation's budget deficit, but even worse, they'll bring about a crippling deficit of hope for the future. Helping those who have lost their jobs through no fault of their own is the right thing to do for families, for the economy, and ultimately for the federal budget. Our failure to get this bill passed has very real and very immediate consequences. Tonight, thousands of people in every corner of this country will suffer because we have chosen to quibble and stonewall instead of act. These benefits help millions of people put bread on the table while they look for work. I sincerely hope the other body will take pity on the unemployed of this country and pass a bill today. I yield back the balance of my time.
Back. Mr. Jones from North Carolina.